Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We got so much to get through and our SummerSlam Fallout folder might be bigger than yesterday's SummerSlam folder because there's been just so much stuff that's kind of been spoken about and obviously all the reaction and everything. But not only that, we've got to start with this. It's the Wyatt Sicks folder because the Wyatt Sicks, of course, are going to be in action on Raw. I thought they may have made an appearance at SummerSlam. Of course, they didn't. That was a little disappointing, but not their fault. But they've been in touch. Nice to hear from them. Here we've got the Wyatt Sicks, Let You Sin, which, as many people have pointed out, is Let Us In, if you just move that space over by one. Here we have got Joe Gacy sat on the floor, right? This is normally a still from the actual interview, and he seems to be in his own world. I mean, he could be playing, like, I don't know, Angry Birds, but I would be surprised if that was what he was doing. I think he's probably lost in his own thoughts. And this really is an interview that we have been waiting for because we know Tom Colohue said, watch the pig. We know that that is something which WWE are interested in exploring and investing in because he is seen as the breakout star of this group. We know that Bo is back to kind of finish off his brother's story. I don't know what his plans or WWE's plans are once that is achieved. Rowan obviously is more towards the end of his career than the beginning of his career. Dexter is interesting, and I think Nikki has been doing a fantastic job, but all the reports are that Joe Gacy is the one that they kind of seeing taking that mantle going forwards. You know, we needed someone to replace Undertaker, you could argue. Well, that it was Bray, yeah? And now we need someone to kind of take that mantle and move it forward again. So Joe Gacy is seen as being that person. He was down in NXT. He was in a group called Schism. That group broke up, and he was a bit lost after that, to be honest. So I think abandonment and feeling lost, those are themes that we can explore with Joe Gacy, not feeling like you fit in, not feeling like you belong. And as we said, he's kind of lost in his own world, his own feelings here. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Brady said, since tomorrow is the last VHS tape, I wouldn't be surprised if we get teases for Alexa Bliss now, which is a really good point because what do we do once these interviews are over? Because obviously we've been getting the tweets and we've been getting the interviews and there's been so much stuff for us to talk about. Well, once this ends, what do we do then? Where do we get the promos and like how do we use this Twitter account? So yeah, I'll be very interested once this kind of comes to an end as to what's next. Maybe teasing the return of Alexa will be next. We thought she would be back around SummerSlam time. She might still pop up on Raw or SmackDown. Feels a bit unlikely. Certainly if she's going to come straight into the group, then I feel like we need to tease her return. And as Brady said, maybe we'll start doing that now that SummerSlam is out the way. This was a bit frustrating because I really thought this was in the folders for yesterday. Obviously, on that countdown show, there was more graffiti. We had some on Monday, the word liar and lots of little bits. But this one, again, we've got liars and we've got XOXO. Together, that does look a little bit like a Pluto symbol. I don't believe it is because the Pluto symbol has got like a half circle underneath the full circle. So I don't believe it is. I think it's just XOXO. But liars is always going to make me, and I'm sure many of you, think about Uncle Howdy. And I do love the idea of Dominik saying, Liv, I've just got one thing that I'm uncertain about. Why did you graffiti and trash the Judgment Day clubhouse? And Liv could say, I didn't. And then, of course, that would be very exciting because who did? And then a lot of people, I think, would be thinking about the Wyatt Sicks. So if they want to go down that road, they can go down that road. I think this will probably turn out to be Liv's work, to be honest. But yeah, something worth being aware of because there's definitely possibility here. New graphic, Spartan, thank you. This is the new graphic for Raw, which I'm definitely stealing and using for the thumbnail this week. It looks awesome. Dave said the world turned their backs on him. Now he turns his back on the world. Am I onto something? I think so. I think this is a very interesting image. Him on the floor with his back to us. He is shutting us out. He is in his own world, and he is like shutting us out, turning his back on us. So yeah, I think you are onto something there. As we said, it'll be very interesting to kind of try and find out what's going on in that mind of his. So it's going to be a good one. Christopher, shout out to you, said such a beautiful masterpiece. It really is. I think this looks absolutely awesome, right? I love the detail here and the shading, and it's just amazing in it. It's absolutely amazing. And a big thank you to everyone that left likes on Barry's tweet. He said if he got 250, he would get a Wyatt Sicks tattoo. Haven't heard anything from him. So, in fact, I don't know him. But I did chase him. I chased him up the other day to say any news on the tattoo. And still haven't heard anything back yet. So he's still on my radar. Don't worry. We're not going to let him get away with making a comment like that and not following up on it. So I will keep you updated, but nothing to report at the moment. Maybe Barry should get one of these. Perhaps I'll send this to Barry. I'll send this to Barry as some inspiration and see what he comes back with. Right, this is the folder. This is the SummerSlam folder, and it is rammed, mates. I would love for this video to be done by like the half-hour mark, but I think we're going to struggle. Right, Dubs, shout out to you. This is the Tuah girl, right? She is at SummerSlam, so let's see what she's got to say.
Okay, so now I'm into women fighting.
She's, look at her face there, shocked. She says, okay, now I'm into women fighting. So she is, I don't even know if she's like a women's wrestling fan or wrestling fan in general. I don't know if she just got invited and she just came along. I really don't know the situation here, but yeah, I would love, if she's not a big wrestling fan, I'd love to know if she enjoyed it. It'd be interesting to know if you didn't watch wrestling and, I don't know, you was made to go along. You're like maybe the partner of someone, or you was made to watch it. Like, did you enjoy it? It was a great show. I've got to think you probably did. You probably didn't enjoy all of it because you might not have known everything that was going on, but I've got to think you did. There was plenty of drama, talking points, things that were easy to understand, you know, even if you were a casual fan. So it would be interesting to just hear her thoughts having attended SummerSlam. Right, I got tagged in this probably more than anything else today. So Freddie, thank you. WrestleOps saying Jacob Fatu spotted in a walking boots. So Haroon twins. I don't know if they're the ones that met him, but a couple of fans met. This is Solo. That's Jacob. After SummerSlam, he is in a walking boot. I've got Fightful Selector. They're saying that they've spoken to talent and staff, and they're saying that the word on the street is that it's okay, but they're trying to get more information. So I don't know if this is just a precaution, but it's okay. So yeah, apparently he was going to sell this injury after that spot anyway, but I don't think this is him selling. I think he's actually done some damage. It's just we don't know how much damage. But yeah, apparently he was going to sell this injury anyway. I don't think he would be going this far though, right? I don't think we'd be putting on walking boots and all that kind of stuff. You could see that his ankle really did make a connection with the commentary table, so I do legitimately think he's hurt. So we'll have to see how bad it is. Freddie said, not looking good. Right, Ronnie said this belongs on a fan cam folder, right? So I wanted to show you this because a lot of people say to me, like, oh, she's such a good woman. Dominik's real life wife, like the amount she puts up with. And I do agree with that. But I always see this as just acting, right? So it's like, I don't know, if you're married to an actor and they have, like, you know, scenes in films where they've got to kiss people or, you know, even more. So, like, I just kind of feel like this is part of the game, really. But here you can see that things go a little bit further, right? In the sense of, and I'm not saying they've done anything wrong, but in the sense of, if I'm Dominik's real life wife, right? Picture that. I'm Dominik's real life wife. As soon as he gets home after SummerSlam, he will walk in the door, right? And projected on the wall, right? TV. I've got a TV, but I'm not using. It's not big enough, right? It's like 70 inches, but it's not big enough. I'm using the wall. Okay, I've got this projected on the wall. I've got one of those extender things, you know, that you can buy. Like this, right? And as soon as he walks in, I'm like, oh, he's home, is he? What's this? Like this, right? And I'm going, what's this? Explain yourself. And he's like, what? What? You know, this is what we had to do. Yeah, oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was, Dominik. Yeah, I'm sure it was. And this is acceptable, right? Yes, it's going to cost you some shoes, but this is acceptable, right? Fine. Fine. We're still fine, aren't we, Dominik? Still fine. Yeah? What the hell is this, Dominik? What the hell is this? Hey? We never spoke about tongue, Dominik. We never spoke about tongue. Was that in the script? Oh, it was in the script, was it? Oh, it was in the script. Well, it wasn't in any script that I saw. This is going to cost you a lot more than shoes, Dominik. This is going to cost you a lot more than... And I want her number now. I want her number now. So, yeah, look at that. That is Liv slipping in the tongue. Slipping in the tongue. I don't even feel like this moment needed that. Like, just them, like, kissing and, like, you know, in a passionate way. Like, the tongue getting in there, you know? I tell you, Dominik's real life wife, she is a better woman than me. She is a better woman than me. Because there'd be some serious words. Here, look, Liv Morgan said, it's my pleasure, Daddy Dom. Thank you. Dominik said, she gets me, right? And look, that is the face, my friends. That is the face that you pull when you've just managed to get married, tongue kiss a different woman, and then somehow get rewarded with 3 plates of chicken tendies covered in cocaine. I can only imagine that's what this white substance is, but that is the face that you pull. That is a face that I will never pull, but that is the face that you pull. So there he is with his chicken tendies. Right, Dubs, shout out to you. This is Bron Breakker after winning the Intercontinental Championship.
First WWE Singles Championship for my family. That's all right, man. That's all right.
So there you go. You can see that one means a lot to him. I mean, we have got him to that Intercontinental Championship real quick. I don't begrudge it him at all. But I'm just saying, we've got him there quite quick. If you think that's the first singles championship for his family... And, like, you know, think how quickly, like, since he joined the main roster to actually winning it, like, how easy it's kind of come to him. This will be a very interesting title reign. I'm looking forward to this. Right, Tribal Reigns, thank you. Tribal Reigns was the one that tagged me in the chicken tendies tweet. Trenton, shout out to you. I like this, right? So you might remember that Buddy Matthews asked Tony Khan, look, can I just go and help Mommy? Because obviously Mommy was heartbroken. She was struggling. Dominik had abandoned her. She was feeling lonely, you know. And so Buddy was like, can I go and help? But Cathy Kelley has got this weird relationship with Rhea where she sort of loves her and wants to be with her, right? So if Rhea needs comforting, there's only one person that's going to want to do that, and it is Cathy Kelley. So when Buddy Matthews said, Tony Khan, can I just go and help Mommy real quick? Cathy was right in there. Look, he said no. So she's pretending that she spoke to Tony Khan and that he said no so that she can be the one that goes and comforts Rhea Ripley. I mean, honestly, we've got storylines playing out on social media away from the shows. Like, they write their own storylines on the shows, but away from the shows, we've got different stories playing out. Honestly, if you're not like following what's going on social media, you're missing out on a lot of fun stuff. So Cathy Kelley killing it with that. Eric said, when Cody was on his way to the ring last night, he ran into he passed Roman's SUV and we missed it. So, Eric, shout out to you. It was actually mentioned during our live stream that those SUVs could have belonged to Roman. I must admit, it didn't click into my mind. SUVs, I don't really associate those with Roman personally, because I think they're vehicles that a lot of people have attended, like wrestling in, like they're pretty common. But yeah, it's fun to think that they could have been a little bit of an Easter egg. They could have been a little bit of a foreshadowing there, you know. So, but it was mentioned during the stream from the community. So yeah, just a fun thing to think about. Right, Jacob Fatu was planned to sell his leg following the splash. It's unclear if it was to the extent that we saw. So Jordan, thank you. As I said, I'm of the belief that he was probably meant to do this and then he was meant to sell like a leg injury. But I don't think what we saw is him selling. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Because you can clearly see his leg making impact with the edge of the table. And now we've got a picture of him in a walking boot. And he's really making a big deal out of it. I mean, he was in a lot of pain. I know that he could have been putting that on. But the way that it all went, I mean, he's either the greatest, most committed seller that I've ever seen, right? To the point where he's now walking around in a walking boot. It's kind of like Andy Kaufman levels of selling. Or it did actually go a little bit too far. So, yeah, an interesting one. I mean, what it definitely suggests is that there wasn't any Usos that were meant to be coming out. That was something that was speculated about. But if the plan was that he would suffer an injury, then chances are it went the way that it was kind of meant to go anyway. And that there was no, like, Jimmy waiting to come out or anything like that. Right, Public Enemies podcast said, to be fair, Roman has knocked out refs in damn near every match that he's been in for the past 2 years. So Joe Mashup said, why was the ref acting like Roman was coming after him? I don't think he did act that way personally, right? I like this clip, but I don't get that from it. I think this ref is having a really bad day, right? If you think about it, he's the ref of this main event, which is going to be a challenge, a lot of pressure. It's the main event. It's for the undisputed WWE Championship. And so far, he's having to put up with Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Jacob Fatu. I get the vibe, actually, what's going on here is this guy is like, I mean, what could happen next? Like, it's one of those where it's like, can we just get through this match? And then all of a sudden, here comes Roman Reigns. So have a look at his face here. It is pretty fun. But I don't get the vibe that the ref thinks that Roman's coming after him. I get the vibe this guy's just like, I can't cope with this. Here we go, look. So here, the music hits. Look, you can see the pain on his face. He's like, what's going on now? What now? It's kind of one of those where you're not in charge of the situation at all. You're just really riding by the coattails, you know? I do like that clip, though. I do like that. Oh, that kind of what's going on. Right, OST BO1. Said it's confirmed by Anthony Mirabella, aka Def Rebel, that it was the WrestleMania 40 version that he came out to. So I gotta say, I'm not a fan of that. For me personally, I think that moment, I said it yesterday, I think it would have been a little better. I don't care whether it was the WrestleMania 40 version or his normal version. It doesn't make any difference to me. But I think it would have been better if Heyman had come out first. If Heyman had come out and said, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what I mean? People then would have been like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. And everyone would have turned, you know, and Heyman's standing there and he's giving it all the, you know, the kind of big showmanship. And then, boom, as soon as the music hits at that point, like everyone's in, like, you know, they're ready. This, it kind of hit and everyone obviously popped, massive pop. But I don't know about you. I mean, I saw the head of the table thing and I was like, are we calling him that still? Is he still head of the table? Does that fit? I mean, it's so hard to explain. What I'm talking about is like a subconscious level. I've watched it again a few times. I'm sure many of you have. And I really think like the music not being the music that we know, right? We've heard it once at WrestleMania 40. I think that was a bit of a letdown. I think it needed to be the theme that we knew. And I think not having Paul Heyman, I think a lot of us expected Heyman to be doing the ladies and gentlemen, not having that felt like that was missing. And then I think the graphic being head of the table, that again, I was subconsciously, I remember looking at it going, is that what he still is? Is he still head of the table? Is he still head of the table? Like, does that work with him being a face? All of these kinds of thoughts, they happen so quickly to the point where you think them and then you've moved on to the next thing. So you don't really vocalize them. But yeah, I think that if you was to make that moment better, I would have had Heyman come out first, do his big ladies and gentlemen thing, then go into the theme that we know. And I would not have had head of table. I wouldn't have had head of the table. I would have had like tribal chief like thing, and I would have had original, if that's what we're going with, original tribal chief, right, which is apparently what we are going with, then I would have had that on screen, original rather than head of the table, which I just don't know if that is the right slogan to have. It was never my favorite. It was better than Big Dog. But Tribal Chief is a much better slogan than Head of the Table, in my opinion. So, yeah, information that it was a theme that was used at WrestleMania 40. Right, Wrestle Talk said John Cena has reacted to Jelly Rolls homage, right? So Cena said, having listened to his music, had the privilege of spending some time with him, and now know that I have a great option for a tag team partner anytime WWE comes to Nashville. Jelly Roll's time is now. So Cena just having a bit of fun there, saying that if he needs a tag partner, then maybe he'll look in Jelly Roll's direction. Finn Balor said, I woke up in a good mood. Thomas, shout out to you. That, I believe, was retweeted by Liv and Dominik. Solo Sikoa. This is Solo, right? It says no words needed. He doesn't say anything. This is obviously Cody's music's playing at this point. This is him heading to the back, and you can see him thinking about everything that's just gone down. I mean, there is... I would love to know what's going through his mind there. He has got a big, big problem now. He has got a big, big problem. I mean, do either of these go and speak to the elders? Do either of these go back and speak to the family about a way forwards? Do the family not get involved here? All of that, I feel like, needs to be explored. And I'm sure we will explore it. They're very good at going into those kind of details. TJF 1983, here's Cathy Kelley says, I've fixed it. Little. So, Dominik, so again, I've told you, Cathy Kelley will not tolerate any abuse of Rhea Ripley. Like, break her heart and you'll have Cathy Kelley coming after you. So, there we go. Fixed it. Logan was reportedly injured in some form during his match with LA Knight at WWE Summerslam. I think this was reported in the press conference after, but no details as to what the injury actually is. TJ1983 again, thank you. It seems like JD McDonagh is done with Judgment Day as well. So there he is ripping up the Judgment Day shirt, saying, I never liked this shirt anyway. So there he is ripping that up. Love is in the air. Liv Morgan saying the greatest love story ever told. There we go. She's reacting. TJ F1983 again. This is Zilla. So there is Zilla Fatu. A lot of people wondering if Zilla might come into WWE. A lot of people wanting him to come into WWE. To my knowledge, is not signed, right? Obviously, he is going to be in attendance because it's his family, right? And I'm sure he would love to sign. He would love to be in WWE. But apparently, he was meant to be at an indie show. And he just didn't turn up to it. He was meant to be at some sort of indie show, but he was here instead. Don't know what the situation was with that, but he was advertised to be at an indie show the same time as this show. But he must have decided to have gone to this instead. So Zilla is someone that I can see coming in eventually. But as we said, at the time of recording this, no word that he's signed and that he's coming in. Randy Orton and Undertaker link up. So Fade, shout out to you. You can't hear what's being said, but this is from WWE's own Instagram. So we know Undertaker was there. He had done the One Dead Man show earlier in the day or the day before. And obviously we know Randy was there because he ends up coming down during the main event. So two old friends catching up. I don't know what he's saying, but it'd be very interesting to eavesdrop on that conversation. Little Fuego, thank you. Everything you love is mine, Rhea Ripley. The Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. So there we go. Liv Morgan with the championship with Dirty Dom. Her Revenge Tour, a complete success. Liv Morgan has reposted Finn Balor's tweets following his betrayal of Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Sometimes you gotta shake the trees around here. That's what Finn says.
Sometimes you gotta shake the trees around here.
There we go. That just moments after he betrays Damian Priest. So Logan showing him working on that amazing moonsault. Credit where it's due. This was incredible. So this is him with the ring set up. And this is him working on that amazing spot. So it's always good to see these kind of behind the scenes things. Look, there he is doing it in the actual match. But boom. Over he goes. I think, does he grab? I think the way he comes down on his knee. I don't know if this is when he actually gets injured. Look at this knee here and how it lands. See, like his foot comes down, which is going to mean that his weight goes onto that foot. His knee follows quickly after, but I could imagine there being like some damage there, right? Might not have been, only he will know, but I'm sure he does grab it straight after. And also, LA Knight landing on it doesn't help. And then, boom, he grabs his knee. So, yeah, LA Knight falls on it at a really awkward time where, like, his weight's in an awkward place. So the landing of that looks a bit moody. But there he is, look, practicing it. I can't remember if he actually grabs... I need to rewatch it. I don't know if he doesn't just jump and go or if he grabs the ropes. In this bit, he grabs the ropes. There, you can see he's grabbing the ropes. I don't even know if he did that during the match. He might have just jumped and gone. Don't know, I need to look at it again. I remember it being one of the most impressive spots from the whole event. I mean, as I said, credit where it's due. It's amazing. It is amazing. Bang. Bang. I mean, look at that. It's textbook as well. It's absolutely picture perfect. I mean, look at that. It looks like he's being suspended. Does it? The arch in the back and everything, the way he's got his head back, the rotation, it's just absolute textbook. It's absolute. It's perfect. You couldn't do it any better. The only thing that you just maybe want to sort out is the landing a little, but I mean, that's just nitpicking. Amazing. Amazing. Right, Spartan, shout out to you. So this is Bron Breakker. He said, John Cena, he's never won the IC championship before. So I say, come take it from me. Come take the championship from me. Grow some balls. Come take the championship from me. So he is challenging John Cena. I think there's a good chance that is a match that we see next year, actually. Ava celebrating Nia Jax title win with a throwback picture. My champ. So there's Ava. Look at young Ava. That was only last week. But yeah, young Ava there. Don't know when that was from. But yeah, that's them then. That is them now. And she says my champ. So very cool. WWE Ethan said, look, a closer look. Look at that. So here, look, need someone to tell me if it is okay for Rhea's shoulder to look like this. It's been like this since she returned, and it scares the shiz out of me. So, I mean, I'm sure it is. I'm sure she has got doctors that are looking at it, but apparently that has been like this for a while. I've not noticed. So that it showed itself during the match, of course, and it was a concern. But apparently it's been like that for a while. Right, Drew said, hang it in the Louvre. Look at that. Put it in an art gallery. Drew pinning CM Punk. Hang it in the Louvre. WWE Ethan, shout out to you. So here, look, there's Liv Morgan's profile picture. There is Dominik's profile picture. They've got their sharing profile pictures. So they've both got the same. Very good. Grayson said, Ricky and Robert? Nah, truth. We aren't some mediocre tag team from the 1950s. Those lads couldn't lace up our boots. You've got a receipt coming, so I'm guessing this is going to be a feud. I'm guessing this is a feud that we're building, which doesn't really make much sense, because I think aren't these two on Raw and these two are on SmackDown? So I don't really see how we build anything here, but, you know, it was what it was. Grayson says you've got a receipt coming. Oh, this is good. This was obviously before SummerSlam. So check this out. Check this out. This little kid's.
Liv needs to stop messing with you.
I know. I've been trying to tell her. I'm Team Mommy all the way, but she won't listen.
But people be saying that you are going to turn your back on Rhea.
No, that's not true. I've talked to Punk about it.
Yeah, he has. Because if he does,
It's Team Mommy.
So there we go. He says Liv needs to stop messing with you, and he says, "Oh no, I'm Team Mommy." And he lied to a child. He lied to a child. Oh my God. Right, Trenton said, I hope Rhea is okay. She's heartbroken, mate. She's heartbroken. Her profile picture, she's got like a black profile picture, and she's got, I mean, I don't know if this kind of fall-in person was there before, but look, she's blacked that out. And I don't even know if this paint the walls red was there. I don't know. She's in a dark place. She's probably listening to My Chemical Romance right now or something like that. So just, she needs a bit of space. She needs a bit of space. Roman Reigns' epic return last night at SummerSlam has garnered over 75 million views in just under 12 hours across all of WWE's social media platforms. The biggest draw in all of wrestling is back. Triple H, yeah, God. So I don't know if you saw this. This was during the press conference. A bit of an update in regards to Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, we received unfortunate news for Jacob Fatu. We're hearing he unfortunately tore it tonight. Yeah, reports are he tore his ball sack when Roman Reigns came down to the ring. Yeah, we received unfortunate news for Jacob Fatu. We're hearing he unfortunately tore it tonight. Yeah, reports are he tore his ball sack when Roman Reigns came down to the ring.
That is so unfortunate, and totally explains why he's got the walking boot on. So Jay Beans, shout out to you, my friend. Wicked Dust, shout out to you. Ratchet the Owl said, even Meltzer gives a compliment. I've still seen this quote criticized. But this is what Meltzer said. It was an angle show. If you were watching the show to see great wrestling, it wasn't that. If you were watching to see angles that were predictable, which there's nothing wrong with, I'm in favor of predictable booking. When people say it was predictable, I usually say it must mean it makes sense. That's what this was. You could pretty much call everything that happened, and they did it well. In that sense, I thought it was an easy show to watch for a 4-hour show. It never lagged. It didn't drag. I enjoyed it. So that was Dave Meltzer. I mean, a lot of non-compliments, but a compliment in there as well. So there we go. Dave Meltzer seemingly enjoying SummerSlam as well. There she is. Look at this dream couple. This is... I wish these were my parents. This is mother and father right here. James Ellsworth and the Tuah, that girl. So there we go, mother and father. Henry, shout out to you. Point of view from the crowd, best chokeslam of all time. Yeah, I thought this would be fun to break down, actually. So, right, there's a couple of bits here. Obviously, Jelly Roll's getting a lot of credit for this, and so he should. He does a brilliant job here, right? It takes two to tango, but the person that really does the work here is Austin Theory. So, if you look, right, they tell him to go over. So, he comes over, nice, right? Grabs him, does it with intensity, so Jelly Roll committing to this, right? It's not like he just grabs him, he's like, oh, proper chucks it in, yeah? So, very good, right? Takes time to look around at the fans as well, doesn't just do it, like, lets it breathe, brings the fans along for the journey, so Jelly Roll doing some really good stuff here, okay? Now, we're about to do the actual chokeslam. So, of course, first thing that Theory does is bend down, right? Because he's going to spring himself up, right? It's not Jelly Roll that just picks him up. It's Theory that's going down and jumping up, right? So Theory is the one that's going to be jumping to get the elevation. But the thing is, you still need a guide, right? You still need something there. And so Jelly Roll has still got a part to play in this. So you can see that Theory goes down so that he can spring up. The height that he manages to get is very impressive. Look at that. Look at that. So he manages to jump up, right? Good vertical jump. And Jelly Roll is guiding, okay? So, as I said, Jelly Roll is still performing a part here. But there's something that he does here, Theory, which I think really makes this, right? Really makes this awesome. Watch what he does with his legs. He brings them up. He brings them forwards, right? He doesn't just let them dangle down there. He gets them up. This is Theory that's doing this work. This isn't Jelly Roll. This is Theory that's doing this work. So watch his legs. Boom. See that? See how he swings them forward and gets himself like lying flat. That is so that in this bit here, it looks as high as it possibly can, right? I mean, look at that up there. He's up here. He's got his legs up so that they're not just dangling it. So he's got all that distance from the ground. So it looks even more impressive. The other thing it does as well is it means that he can just easily lean back, and it means his back is going to take the bump, right? And of course, then Jelly Roll is the one that has to guide him back down again, right? And that's exactly what he does. So from start to finish, this is just from both guys. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. So Jelly Roll doing a brilliant job, but you've got to give Theory props here. You've got to give Theory props. Theory's doing more of the work. So he grabs him. He's going to takes his time. Theory goes down, jumps up, gets his legs up. It's so quick, isn't it? So quick, so impressive. Sean Ross Sapp said there was never a plan for the Usos to appear at SummerSlam. Sources have told us in our Scoops thread. I've got their Scoops thread. Cody topped merch sales, right? Lots of praise for Jelly Roll and what he did. Apparently, the Sami Zayn match went short. It was actually given 10 minutes. They only went about 6. Don't know why it ended when it did. Don't know why they didn't take the full allocation of time, but that was interesting. We also spoke as well, didn't we, about Jacob Fatu and the fact that he is meant to be okay, but they're working on getting more details. Right, here is this lady. She is the one that made this bracelet, right? She said, does the creator of the bracelet get anything for contributing to the savage moment of the summer? So I got a lot of respect for this girl, because lovely bracelet, and it got used in a massive storyline, right? And I like the details. You know, it's got like the Chicago colors, the stars, Larry, AJ. Love it, right? I haven't got a problem with her. I do wish this bracelet never existed, though, because this bracelet really was the focal point when I just wish it wasn't. Because, like, to see Punk coming back and scrambling to try and get a bracelet and then falling out with Seth and him attacking Seth because Seth was wearing the bracelet, and this whole thing being not built around a bracelet, but the bracelet played a big part, you know? I just think there's people clamoring for the Attitude Era, and what we actually end up getting is Drew and Punk and Seth bickering over a bracelet. I mean, it's not it's not what I would book. So fair play to this girl. Not her fault, but I wish this bracelet didn't flipping exist. But Slim Jim got in touch and they said, oh, that was you. We got you. So Slim Jim are going to sort out Victoria, the creator of the bracelet, with some Slim Jim goodness. So if you do need any Slim Jims, Victoria might have a house full. Slim Jim are going to sort her out. Samantha, shout out to you. Appreciate it. We have got other folders, other little bits that we could have took a look at, like the fun folder. Things like Indy Hartwell rapping, Drew with a put down. Although we got to look at this. It's only 6 seconds. This is amazing. Leon Cage. Right, look at this from Leon Cage. Goes up, right? Boom, boom, boom. Look at that for a sequence. Leon Cage, 17. Oh, mate, that is so good. That did the rounds today. That is so good. Boom, look at that. Right? Oh, yeah, and we could play this as well. I was going to do this. It's only 11 seconds. So Del Boy said hidden or something. What does she mean? Check this out.
This is actually a little Easter egg secret, but I will tell you guys what it is off camera.
Okay.
So that is a little Easter egg secret. And she said, but I won't tell it on camera. Do you know what? It must mean that it's something cheeky. Yeah, if she doesn't want to say it on camera, it must mean like it's a bit cheeky. I wonder if that is actually letters and text that have been taken from the police report when she was arrested. I wonder if it's like got her real name known as WWE superstar Liv Morgan, and what they've done is they've cut the Liv Morgan out from that police report. I don't know if it was typed in there or written in there. I'd imagine it was probably written somewhere in an official report. You remember when she got arrested? That was a big thing, wasn't it, at the end of 2023 going into 2024? So that's where my mind goes, right? It's clearly cheeky. She doesn't want to talk about it on camera. It's just a little Easter egg. So if it turned out that that was actually... Because this is her revenge tour. This is her coming back, right? And getting her revenge. So that could just be a little reminder of like where she's been, you know? Because I think, wasn't it, while she was off injured, thanks to Rhea, that she ended up getting in trouble with the police. That's something that we don't ever really talk about. So that's where my head goes with it. But yeah, hopefully one day we find out what that is. When your big cousin comes back and takes all the candy away from you. Lil Fuego, shout out to you. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we'll end on this one, shall we? Right? Drew McIntyre signed this man's CM Punk jacket, right? He's like, can you sign this? So it's a CM Punk jacket, and he writes F CM Punk. I don't know what that word is at the bottom, but I feel like it might rhyme with runt. And then he signs the jacket. That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. FCM Punk. And then whatever that word is at the bottom. And then I like the little smile on his face as well. He knows that he's been cheeky there. He knows. Oh, yeah. Judgment Day formed. Look, Rhea, Damian, Edge. All of them gone. All of them gone. Judgment Day formed. Edge kicked out. Rhea kicked out. Damian kicked out. Maybe the real Judgment Day was the friends we made along the way. Rockin' Rob, that is brilliant. That, honestly, that is brilliant. Oh, I thought that was so good. I thought that was so good. So there we go, guys. I could keep on going, but I wanted to end about half an hour in. It's 45 minutes in. So I don't want to keep going and going and going and going and going. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you to everyone that contributed. We will be back for Raw later. Of course, we'll have a Wyatt Sicks video after and many more unseens on the way for you. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. Bye for now.